Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you stopping in. Today we're going to do a little project kit build that I purchased online, a power distribution block with some goodies on it. So with that, let's get right into it. Alright, well thanks for sticking around everybody. First things first, if you like checking out and seeing me on my journey in ham radio and what things I do, and you think it might be ideas you want to get into, consider subscribing to the channel, liking any of the videos that I'm doing. With that, let's the little thing today is going to be this this little kit here. It comes in a baggie. Get it where the green screen ain't wiping it out. All the little piece parts here in this little baggie. It's a kit by K9JEB, and I'll go here and get this set, and I'll show you the website that I go to. There we go. Here's the website for it. Again, you can see here it's K9JEB.com, and he's got a lot of stuff on his site, little kits you can purchase from him, and pretty reasonably priced, and pretty dependable through the mail on it. This right here is the kit that we'll be doing today, this power connector PC6 kit, and I've already printed off the there we go, get it to go. All right, we're on here. So you can see I thought I was on the home page, but I didn't go there. So this is the kit right here, and it kind of talks about what it can do and some pictures of it and the final product, and he prints out and makes his own little cases for him too. I've already downloaded. You can come here and you can download these diagrams and everything. So here's the picture for his top diagram that he's put on here that you can view while you're doing the bottom of the board. The schematic he's even got on here, and then here's the parts list. You've got the one PC6 board. You've got 2 by power poles, 15 amp. You've got the black power pole shells, the red power pole shells, your horizontal fuse holder, and there's a fuse in there as well. Red LED. You got a resistor, a couple capacitors, and the module, USB module. So. And then you can see here he also provides enough of the number 14 copper wire to do the kit. So I've downloaded also the instructions, and you can see here that when you click on it, he's got pretty reasonable instructions too on it of what to follow along. So this is what we're going to do today, and I'll try to use some of the schematics and the assembly stuff as I'm doing and talk my way through it, and we'll kind of watch it. So let's get where we can see the overhead. There we go. Now I pre-gamed a little bit on this kit. I went and dump it all right out of the way there. Move the black power poles covers over here. Put the red ones out of the way over here. There's the fuse. Couple of the capacitors, a little LED light crystal, resistor, looks like a couple of the screws to mount the board to the kit. Another little capacitor resistor there. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. So there's the little LCD. Just gonna set that off to the side now too. Your little USB hookup. I sent that stuff out of the way. There's their case, and he's got it all nice printed. USB 2.0, 2.5 amp, and then so that's a nice. I'll set that out of the way too. That's just a foam, I think, to protect it and keep everything in there. So here's our motherboard. Back side, top side. Leave that set out of the way. Now on all of these, I've already used my crimps for the power poles, and I crimped them and soldered all of the Anderson power poles. You can see it's already been soldered and crimped. I cut it to length and did all of the power poles. I cut them, you know, in the directions here. He recommends that you take the copper wire he's got and cut into 5/8 to 3/4 inch long pieces of wire. Crimp your power poles on, and he recommends soldering as well. So that's what I've done, and I've got all of them here. On the one low kit we did, that was the first thing you started doing, is put the power poles together and started soldering them. So he said this one's a little more complicated. So with this one, well, let me fire up the soldering iron. I didn't fire that one up yet. So as we're reading through here, you know, it's you know, we've looked at the schematics and the assembly diagrams and the parts list. So the first thing we're going to want to do is install and solder R1 trim. So we solder and we'll install and solder R1, then install and solder D1, and then trim it. But you want to save the legs that you trim off for later on. Is the 10K 1/8 watt resistor. Now, let me grab my easy hands. This is gonna, I'll probably end up doing this video in a couple of turns because I like to take my time with this stuff. And so R1 basically is mounted right here like this. R1, there's two little holes right here, and it's labeled R1. And you put your little resistor in here. It doesn't specify. I think I might need my little magnifying glass and light, because I seem to be going blind. Well, I'm banging stuff all over the place. Okay. There's R1. See, there's D1. So D1 is the little LED. Well, too much solder on that one. Should have put it in there before I soldered it. I'm slow with this stuff, guys. There we go. Got her going now. We'll trim those wires now. It says to save them too, because you may end up using them later on. There. Okay, those two are on. That took me a little bit. Sorry about that. Alright, our next step, install and trim C3 and J8. So, C3 and J8. I think there's only a C3 with this parts list. This will be this little tiny guy. Okay. And JA if using these. Well, I'm going to put the 1 on because that's all we've got is the 1. So on the board bottom side, install and solder C1, C2, and F1 mount holders. So from the bottom, C2, C1, where's the F1? Okay. So, first things first, these two big capacitors. Orient the board the same way they've got it on here. So this is C1. So C1 goes here like this. On the directions, it's orientated like this on the board to show the picture of the board. So that's C1. This right here, C2, as you can see listed there, C2. Right there, those two are. Kind of make it out on here. C2, C1, and then these two right here. That's these two little things here. You'll look one. Oop, I can't hold. My fingers are too big for these little parts. On this little part, you'll see one prong. This prong is wider on one side than it is on the other. And on the board, where these go, one hole is smaller than the other. And we'll put these in. Move that out of the way. Put these in and lay it flat. So I can solder them. So I can solder those in place without it making a mess. Fighting with it to fall out. Alright, so that's all on there now. Our little lead, see what our next one is. So at this point we want to assemble all the power pole connectors. You want to install them J7, J6, J5 in that order. So we'll start J7, J6, J5. We'll start with those first three. That's why we save them poles off from the LED, because you use them on the USB. Slide this right out of the way. I'm just going to go through and get these all clicked in. My plans for this kit, because I'm looking at working on a pan and tilt system to be able to follow and track satellites in the ISS. A friend of mine in the radio club is we're going to be kind of working on that some point over the winter here. So I was going to try to use this, as it requires the one that we were looking at, a way to distribute power, and that'll kind of work for that. But yeah, we're kind of get things going. That way maybe we can have that get this built. We can come on, get in there. Get an insertion tool in a different toolkit. But stubborn. And I'll have links to the website for the kits here in the description for the video too. I'll make sure to have that in there. Making sure these power poles are clipped in tightly and not just the first one I did of these, I had them all in, but I had a couple of them that didn't really lock in. And I had to take it apart and fix them. I'm trying to save a step. There. That one did not. That one didn't want to clip in. And the last one of these. Okay, let's see. Now see, here's our two pins that we cut off the one LED. Now, on this USB, you get the two holes here. We basically have to solder them into them holes. What did I do with the other one? Grab my helping hands. I don't know what I did with it. Right there, it fell on the floor. Somehow it fell on the floor on me. So what I'm going to do, utilize the helping hands here. Get this soldered and we'll do it as a stopping point. And we'll catch part 2 next time. Okay. So one side. So there we go. Just like it said to do. Took the LED clippings and right onto there. So the next few steps we're going to end up doing is soldering all the power poles on, and I'll get those all orientated. Soldering on the USB, and then doing like the LED. So, alrighty guys, with that we'll with that we'll close this one out and get re-established for part 2 to finish up. That way it's not too lengthy of a video. So I appreciate everybody joining in, and swing in on the next one.